Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be sharing with you my winter baby must-haves. Sophie was born at the end of October, which gets pretty cold where we live, and then she was a newborn all through winter, and there was some stuff that really helped us out. So I wanted to share it with you guys today. This is basically going to be for kids like 1 and under, stuff like that. Also, excuse how I look. At 25 weeks pregnant, my morning / all day, all night sickness decided to come back. So we're running on a little bit of sleep here, people. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump in. One of the first things that I really didn't even anticipate using when I got at my baby shower, I don't know why, but I just didn't think I'd end up using it, but we ended up using it a ton, is sleep sacks. I got 2 of these at my baby shower, and she literally almost like lived in these at night. What I would do is I would just dress Sophie in her normal bedtime clothes, and then I would stick her in the sleep sack, and it did a great job of keeping her warm. I also like them because they do come super big. This is 0 to 9 months, and I'm pretty sure they have them at like Target and Walmart. I know I've seen a ton there recently. So it's just a nice, safe way to make sure that baby is staying warm. You know, you don't have to put blankets in there with them or anything like that. But she was super warm in these things, and we love them. So that was definitely one of our must-haves. So the next thing is something that we definitely couldn't have lived without through the winter, and it is an infant car seat with a winter boot. The one that we got is the Kiko KeyFit 30, and this style I don't think is continued anymore. I can't even remember the name of it. I think it was something like graphite or something like that. I can't remember, but this is the one that we chose, and it came with it. It snaps on the side down here, and it just circumferences like the whole bottom of the car seat and everything like that. I absolutely love that winter boot. I know that there's aftermarket ones that you can buy at different stores, but I honestly wasn't comfortable using those, so I just went ahead and I ordered a car seat with a winter boot. I will say that it's more expensive if you buy a car seat that includes one versus one that doesn't. I think I've mentioned before that I bought our infant car seat and our convertible car seat off of AbbeyBaby.com, and I had a 20% off coupon both times, so even at full price and it being more expensive than a normal car seat because it has the winter boot, I got it for less than what these car seats normally retail for, so I had no problem with it, and we absolutely love this thing. It's pretty thick. I'll pull it off the car seat here for you so you can see. It is a pretty thick winter boot. I also liked that it had this little flap at the top, so like any wind or anything wouldn't just like go right underneath, and it's really easy to put on and everything like that, and it's just nice to have that little bit of added protection when they're that little and when it's that cold outside. So one of the things to go with that winter boot and our car seat was a car seat cover. This is one I have from, I think it's Summer Infant. Yes, it's Summer Infant brand, and this one is one of those ones that stretches. It encompasses your entire car seat, and it like tightens off around it too, if that makes sense. But it does have like this little front panel that you can just rip open and peek inside and whatever. I really liked this car seat cover because one, it was attached to the car seat, so it wasn't going to just be like blowing everywhere because it is super windy in the winter also here. So I wanted something that was going to stay nice and attached to the car seat while we were outside, but I also like that it's light enough that I have used it through the summer and the spring with her, and it was just fine. It's not too hot or anything like that. We just used this car seat cover to get from inside the house to the car. We took it off when it was in the car, but it definitely did help a lot, like I said, with all the wind and everything, trying to keep that out of her face if it was snowing. Sometimes we get like hail and like ice storms and things like that, and it was definitely a huge help with keeping all of the elements of nature away from her. So the next thing is kind of like a duh thing, but I didn't know how much I would love these until I did have a kid in the winter, but it's footed pajamas. Now I have 2 different kinds here. I have one that's fleece, and these are awesome. These are amazing. Absolutely love these kind. I think this one's bigger. This one's in 6 months, but still, she even wears them to this day, and I like that it just encloses off their feet, keeps those toesies warm. Absolutely love them, and the fleece ones definitely keep Sophie warm. And then the next is just ones that are just like a cotton kind of material, and this one is a newborn, so it has the little mittens on it, which I highly recommend these kind of sleepers if you do have a newborn in the winter, because it closes off and it makes mittens. I mean, these are great anyways for newborns just so they don't scratch their face, but during winter time it's nice to kind of tuck their hands away, make sure they're staying warm, stuff like that. I've had different versions of each of these, you know, ones with zippers, ones with buttons, one's fleece, one's cottons, everything like that. Honestly, they all have their pros and they all have their cons. I like the buttons because it's nice in the middle of the night just to undo her legs, but at the same time, at night it's relatively dark and I can't see the buttons, where I can easily zip something up. So, I mean, they both, like I said, have their pros, have their cons, but we absolutely love those. Next thing is some thick blankets. This is one that I had gotten from JCPenney's. We use these a ton in the winter months underneath the winter boot just to keep her a little extra warm, and they kept her so warm. And if you don't have the money to afford a car seat cover, you can always drape a really nice thick blanket like this, and this is big enough that it would drape over her car seat. You can just put it over your car seat and use that as a car seat cover. I just feel like you can't go wrong with thick blankets in the wintertime, no matter what age you are. Next thing is a snowsuit. This is the one that we had for Sophie. I absolutely love this thing. She was so adorable in it. This one is from Carter's, I believe, and I really like the Carter snowsuits. I like that most of the time the hoods have some thick fur in there, so the hats are nice and thick for them. And then this one, because it's in a size 3 months, yeah, I don't think it goes past 3 months with this, but it did have the mittens included on it, which is really nice for, like I said, those little newborns. Trying to keep everything nice and warm. And then, you know, it does have the booties down at the bottom. This is a zippered one. I absolutely love this thing. This is too thick for her to wear in the car seat, but I used it all the time when I was baby wearing. We used to baby wear when we would go grocery shopping, things like that. I absolutely loved putting her in this snowsuit, sticking her in my baby carrier, and just carrying her everywhere like that. She was super warm in this thing, and we absolutely love them. The next thing are some socks, and I know this is kind of silly. Of course you want socks in wintertime, but honestly, Old Navy socks are the best socks ever. They are super, super thick. I don't even know if it's going to be able to show up on camera. These things are so thick. They have the grippies on the bottom, even though when they're babies, that doesn't even really matter. But they go up pretty high on their little legs also. You can fold them down if you want to, but I just stuck them as far as they would go onto her legs. And I love sticking these underneath the sleepers at nighttime just to make sure her feet were warm. I used these for mittens to keep her hands warm. I use them for everything. Sophie had like 1,000 pairs of these socks, and they always seem to be dirty because I was using them so often, but I just feel like layering clothes is definitely the key to surviving winter. Another kind of obvious thing, but I'm still gonna throw it in, is hats. This is the one that we got for Sophie. Obviously, it is a huge hat. It is technically a 2 to 3T, but I saw this at Babies R Us on clearance when she was super tiny, and what we did is we rolled up the bottom like this, and it fit over her head just fine. And then I liked that it was rolled up, so it kept her ears extra warm, and we absolutely love it. It still fits her to this day, and this is still her winter hat. It's just rolled down one thing this year, and I think from now on I'm just always gonna buy toddler hats, because honestly, this was like $5 and I'm getting like 2 to 3 years worth out of it, so I'm loving that. Next are some Swaddle blankets. Definitely a must-have for the wintertime. When Sophie was born, like I said, it was late October and it was pretty chilly outside, and even though it wasn't like freezing, it was pretty cold, like 20s to the 10s, but I found that swaddling her while she was in one of her sleepers kept her nice and warm. You know, they're like bundled up, they're all nice and tight. I loved swaddling her in those days that weren't super, super cold, but I knew that she could use a little extra warmth and stuff like that. And yeah, we used these a ton when she was a newborn. Sophie never really had a problem with dry skin during her first winter, but this time around it's been a little bit different. She's kind of struggling with some, but I found 2 really great things to help that out. Now, if you're breastfeeding, I definitely recommend a milk bath. They're amazing for dry skin. I've taken one. I thought it was nasty. I mean, I was afraid of my own fluids. How silly is that? But seriously, it's amazing. Basically, what you want to do is you want to bathe your child as normal. Dump that water out so all the dirty water's gone, and just get yourself some clean water, and then put enough breast milk in it to make it cloudy. Now, that just kind of depends on what your milk is like. how much that's going to actually be. But for me, I just used spoiled milk that I had either left out too long or just something like that. And a lot of the times it was like 3 or 4 ounces and I just threw that whole thing in there. Doesn't matter. But it is amazing. Just let your child play in the water, or if they're a newborn, just kind of run it over them with a washcloth. Just have them lounge out in the water for about 10 or 15 minutes and then just pat them dry. Don't put extra lotion on them, don't rinse them off or anything like that. And I even ran it through Sophie's hair. I was kind of a little anxious about it because she had a ton of hair, she had curly hair, I didn't know what it was going to do. I didn't know if it was going to stink, things like that. It doesn't. Even if, like I said, I used spoiled milk before, my kid never smelled, I never smelled, nothing like that. Her hair never smelled, but it made her skin and her hair super, super soft. So if you are breastfeeding, I definitely recommend that. But if you're not breastfeeding, or if you don't, you know, have the extra milk to do that or anything like that, one thing that we have been absolutely loving is this Aveeno Eczema Therapy lotion. Now, I know that they have a baby version, but this is the same thing. It's just apparently adult size. I don't know. I think this was honestly less expensive than the baby version, but I picked this up for myself because I was dealing with really, really bad dry skin after I had Sophie, and I use this a ton, and guys, it's still up to here because it's so thick. You don't need a lot whatsoever, but it has really helped with her dry skin on those days that I couldn't give her a milk bath, and I absolutely love it for myself too. Definitely recommend it. And the last thing I don't have to show you guys, but when Sophie was little, I had these booties for her and she kicked them off all the time. It was a little too late for us to justify buying, but I did find on Amazon these Velcro Booties. I'll try to link them down below. They had pretty good reviews on Amazon, and I heard a ton of moms that I know personally say that they were amazing. So definitely look into those because they love kicking off any shoes that they have. And it's just a great way to make sure that their feet are going to stay nice and warm. That is everything that I have for my winter baby must-haves. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and as always, thanks for watching.